Well, good evening from Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. A beautiful night for baseball. A game that was supposed to be the middle game of a three-game series. We welcome you to Three Rivers, and we've got some news for you in case you missed it. Jay Randolph along with Mike Shannon. Jack Buck will be joining us a bit later on. Last night's game was not a victory for the Cardinals.
Well, that's how they've been going this year, Jay. They had a nice victory. It was 4-1. The Range came, and they canceled the game. Rained out. Redbirds win. Not so. Mr. Feeney, the National League president, still the president, by the way. I think the Cardinals will be glad when he's gone as the president because he said the umpires didn't wait the prescribed amount of time. So we'll play that game tomorrow night to aggravate matters. Instead of starting the game at 5 or 5:30 here in Pittsburgh, you know the economy's down, so the Pirates aren't going to help that economy. They'll start the game at 6:30, and then that way they don't have to pay the concessionaires any more money. They'll come in at the usual 6 o'clock time.
Oh, the first game will be the game from last night, picked up in the top of the 6th inning. And then, of course, there will be another game. So last night's victory has gone by the boards. Oh, the Cardinals try to get one here tonight. Rick Russell will pitch for the Pirates, and it'll be Mathews going for the Cardinals. Interesting lineup for the Redbirds tonight. Back with that right after this.
The Cardinals and the Pirates here at Three Rivers Stadium. You see the meeting of the umpires down there, and you can bet that they're discussing last night's festivities, the weather, and the cancellation of the game, only to be protested by the Pirates and upheld by Chub Feeney, the president of the National League. So we'll play one game here tonight. We'll start tomorrow night's game at 5:30 and 6:30 rather, 5:30 St. Louis time, 6:30 here, and then we'll have the regular game. So we'll get into Philadelphia just in time for the morning paper. Here's what the lineups look like this evening for the Cardinals. Curt Ford will be in left field with Ozzie at shortstop, Terry Pendleton at third, Jack Clark will be the cleanup man at first, Willie McGee's in center, Clint Hurdle will be in right field tonight. Andy Van Slyke has an injured thumb. He's sent back to St. Louis, and we'll have to wait on the doctor's report for him. It's LaValliere, Oquendo, and Greg Mathews, the lefty. For the Pirates, Barry Bonds will be in center field. R.J. Reynolds in left. Johnny Ray playing tonight. Jim Morrison, Sid Bream, Tony Pena, Mike Brown, Rafael Balliard, and Rick Russell, always tough on the Cardinals on the hill. The play-by-play from Three Rivers comes your way after this. Rick Russell, the former Cub, and so is my partner right out of the hills, the near hills, I might say, of West Virginia, Jay Randolph.
Curt Ford, the first pitch is fouled off to the left side and out of play. Ford batting 125. Going up against Rick Russell. Russell, the comeback pitcher of the year last season, recorded the most wins for him since '79 and his lowest ERA ever. Russell was 14-8 last season. And that's a little low. The crew chief, John Kibler, who probably is a little steamed tonight, is behind the plate. Bruce Frumming at first. Randy Marsh is umpiring at second. Bob Davidson at third. You saw a look at Russell's statistics right there. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Curt Ford.
Now, if I was the Cardinals, I'd protest the protest. It wasn't their fault that the umpire called it too soon. You couldn't have played the game anyway. So why should they be cheated?
Down the line in left, and it is going to be fielded by Reynolds, but not in time, as it's a stand-up double for Ford.
I tell you, Curt Ford's going to get a very good opportunity to play on an everyday basis. You see the young man. He's a slasher, a hacker. He goes up there swinging that bat, and usually he'll pull the ball. But this ball is in on him, and he pops it the other way as it was a slider came back at him. And a good play by the left fielder as he backhands that ball. If that thing gets by him, it's into the corner for a triple. Ford hustles into second base. Andy Van Slyke dived for a ball here last night, and he jammed his thumb. They took x-rays today, and they're going to send him back to St. Louis. As you see Ozzie take that breaking ball high. He'll be examined by the Cardinal team physician, Dr. Stan London, and there's a possibility that there are some ligament problems there.
It is a strain or possible torn ligament in the left thumb.
Curt Ford didn't run.
Ford just stood there at second base as Ozzie tried to move him along.
Russell's
and
a
Ford
very good
looks a little bewildered. Look at him.
That's why they call them rookies. Watch this. Good sinker. Ozzie wanted to drag the ball down the first base line. Russell had already given up on the runner going from second to third. He didn't even look back there. And lo and behold, when he did look after he threw out Ozzie, Curt Ford was still at second base.
Here's Pendleton batting at 216. You mentioned that Ford's going to get an opportunity to play. Of course, Coleman has not played since Saturday as a result of that bruised shoulder when he hit the wall out in Wrigley Field last Friday. He's on a day-to-day situation. Of course, Coleman is available to pinch run. There's a strike.
You get in a situation like this Cardinal ball club is in, Jay, way back in their race, and a fella is injured. He doesn't have much motivation to get back into the lineup.
No, you're right there. Pendleton, who has been sparkling in the field of late. And that is another strike. 0-2. A small crowd on hand on a magnificent evening here in the tri-state area.
It reminds you of home.
Boy, it's nice here tonight.
Little dew in the morning when you get up.
Going to go down to about 45 here this evening. This stadium, Three Rivers, of course, situated where the Allegheny flows gently down to meet the Monongahela to form the Ohio River at the confluence here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pendleton has hit safely in 9 of his last 12 games, but he's still batting 216 coming into tonight's action. And a little chopper, and Russell off the mound quickly, and he shovels it over as Ford goes on to third.
You realize we could take the boat right here, walk out of the ballpark tonight, float right on down to Cairo, Illinois.
And take a right turn and go on home.
You got it. You see Rick Russell, he doesn't appear to be a good athlete when you see his physique, but I want to tell you, he can do a lot of things. His lateral movement is excellent. He bounces around off that mound. He can swing the bat. He's a very well-schooled veteran.
Jack Clark has always had trouble against this hurler. Clark is batting 251 on the season. Clark has reached base on a hit or a walk in 35 of his last 40 games. Whitey was thinking about letting him sit down tonight, but with Van Slyke gone, they moved Hurdle into right, and Clark said he wanted to play against Russell this evening. That's high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Clark has hit better against Pittsburgh than any other team in the National League. Through his career, he's batted .318 with 28 home runs and 73 RBIs.
That's high and outside. 2-1. 2 out, and Curt Ford at third after he opened up with a double and then seemed to be mesmerized when Smith was trying to bunt him along. That's a little low. 3-1.
They have the base open. Rick Russell is not going to give Clark the kind of pitch that Jack would like to have. They try to make him hit his pitch.
Rick Russell, born in our viewing area, May 16th of 1949 in Quincy, Illinois. Good river town. There's one on the inside corner, full count.
But what river is that on?
That is on the Mississippi.
You're good.
Just north of Hannibal.
Man.
Just north of Hannibal. They'll be
Is that
playing,
where old Huck used to?
Huck and the gang used to run around there a lot. Yes, sir. And that's a walk. Incidentally, they'll be playing the Little People's Golf Tournament in Quincy next week.
Oh, is that right?
Yes,
Will
sir.
you be in attendance?
Well, I might try to sneak up for a day. I might indeed.
That's your old buddy up there. What's the pro's name?
Lynn Rosley, of course, is the pro at Quincy Country Club, and they have that great tournament for the youngsters up there. They come from all over the country.
Peter Jacobson will most likely be there. He usually is.
Well, that's this is for the little people, the youngsters. You're thinking of D.A. Wybring's event.
All right.
Yeah. Here's McGee batting at 255. Runners at the corners, and they're 2 gone. And that's slashed foul. McGee standing in there this evening with a 255 average, and Willie's been on base by a hit or a walk in 27 of 74 plate appearances over his last 18 games. Willie is now 6th on the Cardinals all-time stolen base list. 170. Just 3 behind Lonnie Smith.
Whitey Herzog is rather handicapped tonight.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't have Van Slyke. He's headed for the airport right now to return to St. Louis. He doesn't have Tommy Herr. Herr is still in St. Louis. Birth of their new child.
Congratulations to the Herrs. Big bouncing baby boy. That's inside, and a wonderful stop by Pena.
Wonder why a lot of
asked
people
for an appeal on the play.
Wonder why a lot of people think he's one of the better catchers in the game. There's a good illustration for you.
Kidding.
Not many catchers would have handled that one.
2 balls and 1 strike to McGee.
So Whitey doesn't have Coleman. He doesn't have Herr. He doesn't have Van Slyke. And of course he still has the 3 pitchers on the DL. Lottie, Conroy,
Another foul.
and Rickard.
Yeah, the problems have seemed to multiply.
And when it rains, it pours.
Sure.
Speaking of rain and pour, that's what we had here last night. They'd have never been able to play that game, Jay. So my
Now wait a minute. Never.
not last night they wouldn't have been able to. They may have played it today sometime after midnight last night.
Yeah. It must have been bad, Mike.
You know,
of course, there was a tornado warning in the area. And that's one of the reasons
you could not believe the rain that this field absorbed.
Yeah. But nevertheless, the protest upheld. And this will play for Morrison. He throws out McGee.
The way we're going, Jay, we'll probably lose that game. We're ahead 4-1 in the 6th. Probably lose that one and then have it go extra innings and lose.
No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 left. It'll be Bonds, Reynolds, and Ray coming up for the Pirates.
That's what the defensive blanket looks like this evening. Ford, McGee, Hurdle. Pendleton, Smith, Oquendo, the secret weapon, still playing very well. Jack Clark at his usual first base spot. And Greg Mathews, this kid has a chance to get into double figures before it's all over. I really like the way he pitches. And Smokey, very appropriately, is catching here in Pittsburgh, where his namesake held forth for so many years as a Pirate catcher, Smokey Burgess. There's the young man, Greg Mathews, 2-1 on the season, as you can see, in 3 games. The only game that he didn't pitch well was the game in St. Louis where his mom and dad flew out from California. I can understand that. He was a little nervous that evening.
His contract purchased by the Cardinals from Louisville on May the 30th, shortly after Tim Conroy was placed on the disabled list, the 24-year-old left-hander, a non-roster invitee to the Cardinals spring training camp. And he is, as Mike has indicated, a very fine-looking prospect. And speaking of fine-looking prospects, it'll be Barry Bonds to lead it off. His daddy, of course, toiled in the majors a long time. This young man, highly touted, batting .275.
His dad was here last night. Saw him hit that home run over the left center field wall.
He's hit safely in 12 of his last 16 games. And people are talking in no uncertain terms that this fellow's got a chance to be a great star. 1 ball and 1 strike to Bonds. He's reached base safely via the hitter walk in 17 of his 19 games. That's low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ooh, and a hard one that he couldn't catch up with. 2-2. Mathews, in his most recent start, pitched 9 shutout innings, allowing 5 hits before he was pinch hit for in the 10th. He got the victory, however. Cardinals scored in the 10th. And, of course, in his major league debut at Houston, he pitched 8 scoreless innings, 3-2 the count.
About the only thing this youngster needs is some leg bands. He's got everything else. Hitting gloves, pair of sweatbands on each hand.
But overmatched this time as Mathews strikes him out.
He put it right on the corner. So all that paraphernalia still don't help you put the bat on the ball.
Paraphernalia and regalia. That's right. R.J. Reynolds. Reynolds is batting .302. Yes, 23 runs batted in, 5 home runs. He has stolen 9 bases. That's a little high to R.J. Reynolds from Sacramento, California, acquired from Los Angeles. This is Sid Bream. Pendleton had the backup, but makes the play in fine style. And they're 2 gone.
Well, Pendleton is fast developing into one of the better fielding third basemen in the game. Get a look at him there. He had a series at Wrigley Field that was eye-popping.
And this pitch is outside.
Got some folks here, Cardinal fans. Ross and Linda Richardson from Jefferson City, Missouri. They're here enjoying the game tonight.
2 balls and no strikes. 2 out. Johnny Ray, 6th in the National League with that .316 average.
This is the first time he's playing in this series. Didn't play last night and missed a game or 2 before that. He had a hamstring injury and it reappeared on him.
You talk about the good second baseman in the league these days. They're a bunch of them, and this is one of the best. Into left. Kurt Ford on the run, gets there.
He broke back, but with that good speed of his, and Ford can run, he recovered in time.
So the Pirates go quietly in their half of the first, and after 1 here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, nothing shaking for either side. Channel 5 will be carrying more Cardinal baseball later this week. The Redbirds will head over to Philadelphia after the completion of the rain game and the other game that will be played here tomorrow night. Series coming up with the Phillies, and we'll have telecast for you Friday night at 6:30 St. Louis time, then again on Saturday, June 21st, and Sunday afternoon. I hope you'll be joining us for the action from the Vet this weekend on Channel 5.
Our first look at Philadelphia.
That's right. Here is Clint Hurdle to lead it off. 2nd inning, no score. Hurdle playing in right field tonight. 167 the average. 3 runs batted in.
I would think the Cardinals will be thinking about making some roster moves tomorrow.
Bonds is on the run, and he gets there. Nice play in center field right at the track.
He went after that ball rather smooth and easy. Hurdle hit a pretty good pitch and pretty good distance.
Went down
look
and
at
got
this
it.
kid cover the ground. Good outfielder. Of course, his father, Bobby Bonds, long time with San Francisco, played with the Cardinals.
His daddy could bang the ball a long way. LaValliere batting at .234.
His father is now the hitting instructor for the Cleveland Indians. They had a day off yesterday, so Bobby flew in here to watch his son perform, and he saw him hit that home run.
Pretty nice treat. Father's Day gift a day late. But
he'll take it.
I'm sure he will. Yes, sir. 2 balls and 1 strike. That's outside. 3 balls and 1 strike to LaValliere. Smokey. And here's one into left, and Reynolds closes fast. And the ball got away. Yep.
Let that ball get in on him. He should have had that
handcuffed
glove.
him, didn't it?
That's correct. That's exactly what it did. He had the ball right out in front of him, and he should have had the hands out and backhanded the ball. Watch him. He changes his mind right here at the last second, and it gets right in on his body, and he dropped it. It may have gotten in the lights. That's the only thing I can think why he misplayed the ball.
Well, he's been charged with an error, has Reynolds. And LaValliere is at first with 1 gone. Here is Jose Oquendo. Mike calls him the secret weapon. It's no secret he's batting .386. 6 runs batted in. And that's a little high to Jose.
Amazing how many fellas in the league, Jay, with small physical stature are doing so well. Balliard for this ball club. Kid down at Atlanta, the shortstop, Ozzie Smith, Oquendo.
Well, it just proves you don't have to be a giant to play this game, do you?
Not with AstroTurf.
No, sir. LaValliere at first, Rich Hacker the coach there, and Bream is holding, and then as the pitch is thrown, he moves off the bag to his right. That's inside, but it caught the corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rick Russell on the hill. No score. We're in the 2nd inning here. Pleasant evening in Pittsburgh. Hope you're settled in and will enjoy the action wherever you are. That's outside. 3-1. Oquendo is from Puerto Rico, and he came to the Cardinals with right-handed pitcher Mark Davis in a trade with the New York Mets for Argenis Salazar and John Young back in April of '85. Slapped into the hole and left. The secret weapon strikes once more. And they're 2 on and 1 out for Mathews. Let's pause for local station identification. This is the St. Louis Cardinals Television Network.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. This is KLJB-TV Davenport.
Morrison at third and Bream at first. Pulled up, expecting the bunt from Mathews. Mathews has an RBI. He is 0 for 7. That's high.
He has shown, to this point in the season anyway, that he is a terrible bunter. He's tried to bunt about a half a dozen times. He hasn't been able to do it yet.
Based on his past performances,
this is a 50-50 chance at best. Look at this bunt. Perfect. He'll still not get him over there. He'll be forced out. So he's still 0 for Sacrificeville. We told you about Rick Russell. He can bounce around. And watch this. Kid lays down a pretty good bunt.
Yes, he did. He got a little too much of it, that's all.
Yeah. On the AstroTurf, Russell takes his time, makes the quick little wrist flip over there, and Oquendo is a dead bird.
Russell and another fellow who toils for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Fernando. You don't look to be too athletically inclined, but you try them at about anything and they can do it. Inside to Ford, who doubled to start the game. Cardinals with 2 on, 2 out, stranded 2 in the first. Fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
As I look over and see Greg Mathews, the Cardinal pitcher at first base, he's getting a big lead, and he's not aware of how well Tony Pena can and likes to throw and pick men off base. I don't think he'll quite use this situation, but you never know. He's getting a big lead. And
not with Pena, you don't. You're right there.
Sid Bream wants to sneak in behind him, I tell you, the kid would have himself a big surprise.
That's inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, Mike, you mentioned Ford's going to get some opportunities now with the injury situations. What's your impression of this young fella?
Well, he's a very aggressive batter, and I like that to start with. He goes up there hacking. You watch him. He'll swing. He doesn't have to have a perfect pitch for him to swing. He'll see the ball, and if he thinks he can get his bat on it, he'll go to whale it. You know, the kid has a chance, but he's in that category where he's going to have to make himself a good player up here.
3 balls and 1 strike. And here is a long one into the gap. And Bonds is going to get there. Boy, he came a long, long way to take it at the track at the 370 mark. Bonds showing us excellent speed in center field. The Cardinals strand 2 more. That's 4 in 2 innings. And we're scoreless with Morrison, Bream, and Pena due up for the Bucks.
This is KLJB-TV Davenport.
It's granted by the St. Louis National Baseball Club solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals and Major League Baseball is prohibited. The #1 Cardinal fan in all of the tri-state area, Mr. Jerry Cretin, is here with us tonight, better known affectionately as Crazy. Oh, crazy.
He's our man.
Yep, Jim
Greatest
Morrison.
Cardinal fan ever.
Morrison standing in, batting .241, 33 runs batted in. 9 home runs for Morrison this season, and he takes high and outside.
Well, here's a fellow that's getting a chance to play on an everyday basis because of the new regime in Pittsburgh. Morrison, he's a very good mistake hitter. You make a mistake, and he'll do that too. That's why he has the high home run total.
A leadoff single for Morrison to start the second for the Pirates.
In another look, the left-hander lays that ball right in, out over the plate. Those strong right-handed batters like it there. Boom. You throw it down the middle, and there's usually a line drive on the end of it, isn't there, Jay?
You're right, Mike. The Pirates are batting .248 as a team. They've hit 44 home runs and stolen 48 bases. 55 errors to their credit. 44 double plays. This is Sid Bream. Bream's batting .263, 23 runs batted in, 3 home runs. And it's low. Bream, 27 of his 52 hits are for extra bases. He has 15 doubles, 3 triples. That's high. 2 balls and no strikes. John Tudor and Mike Bilecki will be pitching here tomorrow. Don't know who will take over in that suspended game that will have to be completed.
Well, it'll be the bullpen, Jay.
Yeah, sure. I just don't know who it's going.
Barger. Oh, we have Ownby down there. One of those guys is going to have to take up that ball game.
Yep. The 2-0 pitch is foul back, 2-1. In case you're joining us late, a couple of items. Andy Van Slyke is headed home. A strain or possible torn ligament in his left thumb, and Cardinal team physician Dr. London will check him out tomorrow. And Tommy Herr is still in St. Louis with his wife Kim, who delivered a bouncing baby boy. This is popped up, and it is Ozzie to make the play. Tony Pena, one of the best backstops in the National League and all of baseball. So we get a look at LaValliere talking things over with Greg Mathews. Mathews with a record of 2-1. Pena, this fella, you see that average, the runs batted in, but he's thrown out 19 of 43 runners. He's also thrown out 1 on a pickoff.
It's a good situation, as far as I'm concerned anyway, Jay, for the hit and run. Pena doesn't run very well. Neither does Jim Morrison, the man at first. Only 1 out, and you're getting to the tail end of your batting order. So you can start the runner and hopefully get the hit and run to work.
Throw over to a pretty good stop there. The ball got away, but Clark kept it out in front of him as the throw was in the dirt. Mike, Jim Leyland is the new manager here. You mentioned this is the Cardinals' first visit to Pittsburgh, the first time we've seen the Pirates this year. And he's a well-regarded gentleman as far as that goes. Leyland, the new manager here.
Came out of the White Sox organization, and he's a fiery little guy. And they've really caught on to him here in Pittsburgh. The players, fans, he's fit in very well. He's already been ejected twice. He's been fined $400 for his involvement in a fight. It's funny, they had a fight the Pirates and the Mets the other day with Rick Rhoden on the mound, and Rick was telling me about the fight, and he said Jim had gone out there to be a peacemaker, and one of the fellows lost his balance, and he was back on his heels, so he reached out, and Leyland was standing next to him, and he put his hand on the Pirate manager to keep his balance, and when he did, you know, Leyland only weighs about 150 pounds soaking wet. He flipped him over, and then when they reviewed the films, the National League president said, well, you must have been in the fight. You were on the ground. So he was fined also.
Well, he takes over after the travesty here last season when the Pirates won 57 and lost 104. And they hit only 80 home runs and turned over only 127 double plays. This is a young team, a team in transition, new organization here. About a dozen of the corporations in the Pittsburgh area going together to purchase the club from the Galbraiths and try to get baseball back in big business here in Pittsburgh.
They're trying. I'll say that for them, Jay. They're trying to get the players involved in the community. They have daily autograph sessions around the city in the metropolitan area, hospitals, McDonald Corporation. Have people coming in to sign autographs at their restaurant. And
runners going, and it is slapped into right. The hit and run, just as you called it, Mike. And Pena doing an excellent job with that shot to the right side. They're at the corners.
Cardinal lefty got a changeup, and he got it up and out over the plate. And boy, do those hitters like that ball up. The hit and run, it was a ball, but Pena had to swing, and not only did he protect the runner, but he got himself a base hit. And now a much easier job for Brown. See, this ball is way outside and way high, but Pena, who can handle the bat, still got a piece of it. And now Mike Brown, a young man that came over from the American League in a trade with the Pirates last season. He's been platooning here now with the new situation.
Brown is from California. .250 the average. You mentioned the deal. He was acquired from California with pitcher Pat Clements, pitcher Bob Kipper, in exchange for Candelaria and Holland and George Hendrick.
And both Candelaria and Hendrick are still there. Holland is now with the Yankees.
Brown went to San Jose State, a good baseball school out on the coast. Fly ball into right. Backing up is Hurdle.
Hit and run pays off, doesn't it?
Morrison tags. Pirates lead 1-0. RBI for Brown is his 24th. So the Bucks have broken on top here in the bottom of the second.
Out over the plate again. If you don't keep these big, strong, right-handed hitters honest by throwing inside, they'll get even with you.
During the rain delay last night, I was tuned in listening to you and Jack on the radio side, and was interested in your comments about how pitching has changed in the last 25 years. Here's Rafael Belliard. He is the shortstop tonight.
Here's another example of one of the fellows I'm talking about. He's hit 7 straight games. In his last 7 games, he's batted .500. And in his last 13 games, he's hitting .455.
The Pirates have a run home here in the bottom of the second inning. Pena's down there at first. 1 ball and no strikes to Belliard. That's just outside.
You take a guy like Belliard. He can't hit the ball out of the park. He doesn't have any power. Just jam the ball right in on him. Knock the bat out of his hands. Fastballs, everything. Fast inside. He swings at it, just keep going in there.
He's 24 years old, from the Dominican Republic. And that's high. 3 balls and no strikes. Peter Scott is here tonight. St. Louis-based golfing expert. There's a strike right down the middle. Pete, who handles the Michelob professional golfers all over America. They've been here playing in a tournament out at Pittsburgh Field Club.
They had a couple of pretty
here.
fair hackers with him, Curtis Strange and Roger Mulpey. They can move it around a little bit.
Roger put
And
on
Bob
a terrific.
Your buddy
Bob
Sam
Goldie's been in
Snead was
town.
there.
Sam Snead.
Frank Fuhrer, the local Anheuser-Busch distributor here in Pittsburgh, puts that thing together for the youngsters that are waiting for transplants and their parents. And he's raised a lot of money. As you see this fastball inside on the kid, and they call the strike.
Belliard thought he had a walk coming, but he is going to stand back at the dish with a full count. Rafael Belliard. runner goes, and it is popped up into short center. And closing on it now, Hurdle came all the way from right to take it in behind Oquendo. But the Pirates have a run on a couple of hits, and after two, 1-0 Pittsburgh. Smith, Pendleton, and Clark due up for the Redbirds. The Cardinals have a gift for the adults in the audience on Friday, June 27th. Budweiser Can Wrap Night. The first 30,000 fans aged 21 or over with a paid admission will get the free red nylon can wrap. Has that Velcro closure. Popular item you don't want to miss out. Budweiser Can Wrap Night. Friday, June 27th. Cardinals take on the Philadelphia Phillies, 7:35. Budweiser KSDK Can Wrap Night, Friday, June 27th. Well, we'll move into the third inning. The Pirates have a 1-0 advantage here. Rick Russell on the mound looking for his 5th victory of the season. He's lost 5. And it'll be Ozzie Smith to lead it off. Smith started tonight batting .312, trying to bunt Ford along in the first inning. He did a nice job with the bunt, but Ford didn't make a move. Right now to the microphone, here's Mike Shannon.
Thank you, Jay. In the last 18 games, Ozzie Smith is batting .356. He still has that average up over the 300 plateau. He's in the top 10 in the hitting department. And he's 0 for 1 with that tap on the attempted sacrifice bunt in the first. A 1-1 count on him now as Rick Russell got the fastball in there and misses with the slider. They bunch Ozzie in the outfield. They give him both the left and the right field line. And the infield is straight away, except for the man at third, Morrison. He's almost even with the base. 2-1. And another base hit for Ozzie. Into the corner, and he'll get 2. Nope. Just curved and went foul. We have a few community nights coming up for you. On Tuesday night, June the 24th, we'll be taking on the Phillies, I believe. They've got Pittsburgh here. Well, we'll double check that. I thought we were playing Philadelphia, but maybe it is the Pirates. It is Pittsburgh. We'll be playing these same Pirates on the 24th. That is foul, just foul past the bases. Bruce Fleming throws up the foul signal. He's the umpire at first. June the 24th. It's Lou Gehrig's birthday celebration benefit. For ticket information, contact the Greater St. Louis ALS Association. On the 25th, we have Greenville, Illinois night. Just missed inside. And it's a full count. The right fielder has to go deep, but he'll get there just in front of the wall. Mike Brown holds it down. And 1 away. The 25th, we'll be playing this Pittsburgh club. It's Greenville, Illinois night. If you need ticket information, call Greg Stone at Green Clothing Company or Randy McKeon at the Nevco Scoreboard Company in Greenville. Also on the 25th, it's Wagoneer, Illinois night. Don Webb in Wagoneer has the information. Pendleton is OUT 6-3 as he goes after the first pitch. On the 27th of June, we'll have Philadelphia in town, and it's New Athens, Illinois night. The home of Whitey Herzog and Rich Hacker, the Cardinal first base coach. Jerry Mueller has the information along with Bill Short. Or just drop into the United Illinois Bank in New Athens, and they'll tell you all about New Athens night. Here it is Pittsburgh leading the Cardinals 1-0. We're in the third. Nobody on, 2 down. Jack Clark at the dish. He walked his first time. Clark homered here last night. Well over the left field board. Slider just a little low from Rick Russell. This guy was out of a job, but the Pirates said, we'll try you. And Jay told you what a great year he had last season. This slider is on the corner.
It's amazing sometimes what a change of scene or new chemistry will do, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Both good and bad. Shortstop takes care of the final two, high but out, and it's 3 up, 3 down. And for Russell, 5 in a row retired. For the Cards, it will be, for Pittsburgh, it's Russell, Bonds, and Renault. 1-0 Pirates.
Well, the gentleman on the right there is enjoying his cigar and the pleasant evening, and he is one of the great men in sports, Mr. Arthur Rooney, the chairman of the board of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and one of the great, he's Mr. Pittsburgh.
And what a fine gentleman. Here's Rick Russell. He's a good athlete. He can do it all. And he lines out to Kurt Ford. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 3rd. He's quite a gentleman, isn't he? As well respected as anyone you'll find in this business, and quite a character also, Jay. I'm certain that someday,
you Irishmen stick together, don't you?
I'm certain someday someone somehow is going to write a book about Art Rooney.
I hope they do, because it's a rags to riches story, and he is, as I said, Mr. Pittsburgh. He is beloved and still up around the 80 mark. Comes to the office every day and looks marvelous. And he's going to be over in Ireland for the Irish Derby. A lot of the Anheuser-Busch people are going to be over there.
That's correct. They have a big contingent going over there, and quite a few St. Louisans will be there. And of course, Art Rooney connected with racing in a lot of ways through a lot of years, and good friends with the Galbraiths here.
His family struggled through some tough years in professional football. One year during the war years, they had to match up with the Philadelphia team so they could have enough players. The two teams merged for 1 year so they could play, and they didn't make any money for a long time.
They used to have to. Well, here's a shot into the right center field alley. That'll get down and go to the wall. And Bobby Bonds, a little boy, Barry, has himself another base hit, a double. Homered here last night, doubles here with 1 out in the 3rd. Take another look at it. Struck him out the first time, just about on the same pitch. But the kid went to school, and he drills this low fastball into the alley. He has good speed, and he makes it into second base very easily.
Later this evening, we'll have the McDonald's scoreboard for you, updating all the action in the National League.
Yeah, I want you to keep up on that McDonald's scoreboard, because
good people, boy.
They keep firing those Big Macs out to your house. I know you don't want to miss those. You've tried that new one with the tomato on one side and the burger on the other? They send those to you also?
Outstanding. Outstanding.
I could just see you sitting at the pool with Sue and the kids. And here comes Ronald McDonald hopping over the fence.
That's right.
Serving you at poolside.
I love that sausage biscuit in the morning, boy.
1-0 the count on R.J. Reynolds. Tell you need a scorecard if you come to Pittsburgh nowadays. They had a lineup the other day that had not one player that was playing regular in the big leagues last year. They have gone to youth. And they're paying the price, as you might expect, not only on the field with their record, but at the gate. Although tonight it looks like we have close to 10,000, Jay, with the good weather.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night for baseball, and I'm guessing you're pretty good at those crowd calls, about 10,000.
What are you going to guess? Go ahead. I'll bet you Budweiser that I get closer. You guess, and then I'll tell you.
Well,
3-0 on R.J. Reynolds.
9,900.
9,900. Very good guess. I shouldn't have guessed first.
That's right. You're trapped.
Very close. Well, they turned the kid loose, 3-0. With Johnny Ray on deck, forget it. Johnny Ray is one of the better hitters in the game. So the kid gets the fastball in there, and it's 3-1 with Bonds at second. 1 out, 3rd inning. Pirates lead 1-0. Caught it again, full count.
Good pitch.
There you get a look at Bonds. And now R.J. Reynolds. Off the end of the bat. Clark will take it unassisted. Over to third is Bonds, and now he has to deal with Johnny Ray. Good play by Clark. He surrounded that ball. He got into good fielding position. You watch, he goes to the second base side of the baseball so he can scoop it and make his dash to first. Right off the end of the bat. Kid fooled him. See Jack racing to his, got that ball on the left side of his body, and he made an easy play for himself. Well, here's Mr. Ray. Jay told you, a lot of good second basemen in the league, and you got to put this fellow right at the top. He needs a 2-out RBI hit. Good breaking ball by Mathews at the knees.
Ray is 29 years old. Went to the University of Arkansas.
One and one.
He was selected by Houston in the 12th round of the June '79 draft and acquired from the Astros. Key deal there, that Phil Garner deal.
That'll play for the secret weapon. And that takes care of Pittsburgh here in the third. No runs, a hit, a man stranded. The Pirates have left 2. We've played 3. And the Buccos are on top 1-0.
Pirates have the lead 1-0. We go to the 4th inning, and on a great night for baseball, here's a great guy.
It's
Jack
like
Buck.
September here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Here's McGee. What did he do the first time? There's a strike.
I believe you'll find that he grounded out, sir.
To the old third baseman, huh? Where in the 4th, the Cardinals have had 2 hits. Been given a walk, had another runner reach on an error. They've left 4, went down in order in the 3rd. And Russell has retired 5 in a row. He has that good sinker ball. Doesn't groove the ball for the hitters very often. And he's trying to even his record. He's won 4, lost 5. There's a foul ball, puts McGee in the hole. And a good play by Rich Hacker coaching down there. Russell has no wasted motion out there in the hill. In fact, I think he might put on a pound or 2 during the game. He just doesn't move around very much, just slings the ball to the plate. And he has McGee set up. McGee and then Hurdle and then LaValliere. In on the batter, 2-2. Cardinals are without the services of Andy Van Slyke. He's headed back home for medical treatment. Pitch is low, and it's 3-2. Everybody's crumbling here.
Yeah, Mike and I went over the fact that quite a few people are not available.
Will you volunteer if we run out of people late in the game here?
Boy, I think we'd be in deeper trouble than ever. But Herr is not here, of course. Coleman is unable to play right now. The 3 fellows in the pitching staff with problems, and it's not a very good situation at the moment.
And we didn't even win the game we thought we won last night.
How do you like that? That's the way
Well,
we're
we
going.
will tomorrow.
All right.
McGee leading off in the 4th. He walks. That's the second pass given. The first one went to Clark.
Robert Herbert Forsch, the veteran hurler of the Cardinals, wants to wish his lovely wife Molly happy anniversary, their 14th anniversary.
Really?
Yep.
2 nice little girls. They were in Chicago with the family this weekend.
Great folks, the Forsches really are.
Clint Hurdle lined out to the center fielder his first time, looking for his first home run of the year. First pitch of the ball, dropped by Pena. You don't see him drop many. Ball 1. That fella can catch. Look how well Pena. That's why he dropped it. Broke the webbing in the glove. He needs a new glove. This fella really gets down.
Probably lower than anybody, doesn't he, Jack?
Down and dirty, man. Looks like he wants a fastball outside. McGee takes the lead. And the pitch was outside, ball 1 to the ball 2 now to the hitter Hurdle. LaValliere on deck. There's McGee able to get get a good lead. He has stolen 7. Sid Bream, the first baseman. Now these players, after coming over here to Pittsburgh, like Brown and Reynolds and Bream, are getting a chance to play. And another throw over there. Leadoff walk to McGee in the 4th. And a foul off to the left side, 2-1. Hurdle has driven in 3 runs this year. He's batting .163 right now.
Clint will be the speaker next Thursday at the Fellowship of Christian Athletes luncheon in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah?
I know a lot of the folks are looking forward to that.
Look out, Willie. Willie had taken a step in the other direction a week from this coming Thursday.
Right.
Huh? You going to that luncheon? You should go.
You think I should? I make every effort, but
if anybody should go. Leadoff man is on, and Hurdle hits it foul, and that makes it 2-2. Wonder why they didn't invite me to speak there.
Well, it might be your fee. I don't know.
What's Hurdle getting?
I don't know that either. I would imagine he's doing it for gratis. You remember gratis?
Oh, he's an old friend of mine.
Yes, sir.
2-2 to Hurdle. Hitting room through the right side. McGee draws another throw. Looks like Willie ought to be able to get a good jump on Russell, although Russell makes his move to the plate a very quick one, and Pena, we all know, can throw. Be a good count to run on. That was pretty close. And Russell has lost some weight from the highest weight that he carried. Runner going, and the pitch inside, and Willie swiped it. Hurdle held up at the last minute. Now he wants to pull the ball.
Well, Willie got an excellent jump.
And then Russell took a little off the pitch on an off-speed breaking ball, and Hurdle
Pena
just did hold up.
Boy, Pena really charges out of there, doesn't he?
He made it close. Now it's 3-2 to Clint. Number 8 for Willie. And that's the tying run with nobody out. And now Hurdle walks, and that's 3 by Russell, and that's not like him, and the batter is going to be LaValliere. Mike reached on an error by the left fielder his first time. Well, this is the 3rd inning out of 4 the Cardinals have had 2 base runners.
Stranded 2 in the first and 2 in the second.
Double and a walk in the first. Single and an error in the second, and 2 walks here in the 4th as Russell asks for some trouble. No home runs for LaValliere in the big leagues. He shoots it into the left field corner. That ball, the peck of trouble. Fair, bounces over the fence, and that ties the game. I was going to say a bad break, but it really isn't, because the runner probably wouldn't have scored as LaValliere drives in a run and ties the game. McGee crossed the plate. Hurdle had to stop at 3rd on the ground rule double, and that's as far as he would have traveled anyhow. And the batter is Oquendo, and let's see if they pitch to him. You see, Reynolds was over there. He was going to play the carom off the wall very well. Oquendo singled his first time to the opposite field. Let's see if they pitch to him. Jose peeking a look out from under that helmet.
Checking the signs with Nick Leyva coaching at 3rd.
And the infielders are back at 2nd and short.
The secret weapon.
That's what Mike has pegged him. And they play him around to the left. Jose would prefer to pull the ball. Pitch is outside. He's not going to get much to hit with first base open. Cardinals have caught Pittsburgh here in the 4th. Hurdle, the runner, at 3rd base, and LaValliere at 1st. Russell to Jose Oquendo, and it's inside, and that's ball 2. And a visitor coming to the mound. Jim Leland, the manager, going out there to talk to him. The coaches are Rick Donnelly, Mick Kelleher, the former Cardinal, Gene Lamont. This is Ron Schuler out there now. He's the pitching coach. And Bill Verdon's with his club. This is Schuler. He used to pitch for the Philadelphia Phillies. That's where you know him for the most part. And it's 2-0 to Oquendo. I'm surprised they just don't go ahead and walk him. Jose is hitting .400. He'll try to pull the ball here and drive in a run or two. He's driven in a half a dozen. Took a strike, and it's 2-1. Jose loves boxing. Told me he used to do a little boxing when he was younger.
So did Jack Buck.
Not as much as this kid did. He hangs over the plate. And a foul ball past third. 2-2.
Jammed him, and I guess he didn't break the bat. He's checking it out.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Russell would love the strikeout. Oquendo wants contact. Even a ground ball to second or short would put the Cardinals on top, or a fly ball, of course. A hit would maybe mean a couple. LaVallier's the runner at second. There's a fly ball to center field. It's going to put the Cards on top. Both runners tag. One scores, the other stays, and the Cardinals lead 2-1. Oquendo delivered with a sacrifice fly to drive home Hurdle. And now Mathews is up with a runner at third and 1 out. Cardinals lead 2-1. A couple of walks. They both scored.
LaValliere out there at second as we look at the play again.
McGee walked. He scored. Stolen base helped. Hurdle walked. He scored. Mathews has no hits and 8 at-bats.
7 RBIs now for Oquendo.
LaValliere just didn't have enough running speed to try to advance to third. He tagged up but decided against it. If you can't run, you can't run.
You better know your limitations, huh?
As you get older, you're not going to get any better.
How about for that?
I think he has reached the apex.
Smokey.
Mathews went around. He's in the hole 1 and 2. He's looking for his first big league hit. And he struck him out with a breaking ball. Russell picks up his first strikeout. Russell hardly has any extraneous movement out there. He just waits till he gets the sign and he pitches. He doesn't fiddle with the glove, the ball, the rosin bag, his belt, his cap. He just stands out there. Kurt Ford could drive in his first run of the year. He is doubled and flied out. Strike called. Looks like Russell's gone to a little harder stuff ever since the pitching coach went out there. Ford's double in the first was to the opposite field. This one bounces to the second baseman, Johnny Ray, and the inning is over. Cardinals scored 2 runs on only 1 hit. They leave a man. They've left 5. Greg Mathews goes back to the hill with the lead, 2-1.
This evening after the game, cordially invite you to join Karen Foss and Stan Stovall. The Channel 5 Eyewitness News update. Meteorologist Bob Richards takes a look at the weather week ahead. And
How about
Mike
Dick
Bush.
Ford? How about Dick Ford?
Dick Ford will make a cameo appearance, probably, yes. And then, of course, the Cardinal Pirates highlights and all the news from the world of sport. NBA draft was today. Mike Bush will have that for you. It's all coming up tonight on the Channel 5 Eyewitness News update.
Meanwhile, where are we?
We are in Pittsburgh.
There's the Pirate, or the Parrot.
The Parrot, the Pirate Parrot.
Pittsburgh Pirate Parrot. That's an ugly looking Mascot, isn't it? See.
They're having a big arts fair down around our hotel in the downtown area.
Thanks for nice browsing during the afternoon. Jim Morrison singled in the second inning and scored a run. Line drive into left. This fellow's hit 9 home runs. He's had a chance to play. He used to be with the White Sox. And of course they traded Bill Madlock away, and Morrison's the third baseman. Hitting .241, driven in 33 runs. Mathews gets ahead of one of the few batters he's been ahead of this evening. Greg has the lead. That's low, and it's 1-1. Mathews from California. Nice close-up study of him. As a sign from LaValliere. Misses low and away. Just missed with that one. 2-1. Morrison leading off. Swing and a miss at that changeup. He turned that ball over a little bit and ran away. 2-2. Morrison, Bream, and Pena. Right, left, right. Swinging a foul. Past Mick Kelleher coaching down at first. You remember when Mick Kelleher and Mike Tyson came up at the same time?
That's right. Mick,
back in the early 70s.
Coaching here at first base for Jim Leland, and Gene Lamont coaches over at third.
I'll have to double check, but I think Lamont's father is from St. Louis.
Might be.
Morrison grounds it to Ozzie. He gets a big hop charging in. Throws him out by a good margin. 1 gone.
Lamont was I think the AAA manager for the Royals, wasn't he, last year?
Right, and he did a lot of minor league managing for Detroit. Here's Morrison. Off-speed pitch. He was out in front. Ozzie throwing on the run. Sid Bream popped out his first time. This fellow is big. He's about 230 pounds. Has 9 homers. Takes ball 1. Cardinals have won 2 and lost 2 on this road trip, discounting last night's aborted affair. A foul ball, 1-1. So you're not going to be here tomorrow for the resumption of that activity.
No, that's right. I will join you in Philadelphia.
Thursday night?
Well, we're not televising Thursday night. Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon.
Well, that'll keep you out of trouble.
Yes, indeed.
1 out, nobody on. Outside of the hitter. You're wearing the championship ring from a year ago. Seems strange. You don't wear any jewelry.
No, I wanted to show it to my dad.
Oh.
So going to be visiting with him tomorrow, and I wanted him to see it. I'm not a jewelry wearer, as you say.
3-1. Mathews doesn't want to lose this left-handed batter, but he's behind in the count. 3-1. Can't be too free with the strikes to this guy. He'll lose it for you, but he walks. Tried to get him with a fastball, but he got out of the strike zone. That's the first pass given by the Cardinal hurler, and it brings up Pena. He singled to the opposite field his first time as LaValliere goes to the mound. Looks like Mathews doesn't want to talk to him. Had to chase him out towards second base. Mathews turns around. He wants to make sure he knows who's covering in case the ball's hit back to him. That's Oquendo. And here's Pena. One on, 1 out in the 4th. 2-1 the Cardinals leading, looking for their first double play of the night. Bream is not fast. He's the runner at first. Pena hits it right at Hurdle. Ball kept taking off, and Hurdle had to reach high to get it. 2 out. And Pena's a slasher. Goes up there pumping. 2 out. Bream still at first. This runner you're looking at right now, Bream, was out trying to steal third base last night. They're doing some crazy things with the Pirates. This is Mike Brown, big strong hitter from the California Angels over the Pirates last year. Drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the second. Mathews to Brown, and in the dirt and blocked by LaValle. Clark holding against Bream. Mike Brown is from San Francisco. Batted .332 last year after coming over from the Angels. Hit 9 home runs last season. 4 for California, 5 for the Pirates, and the throw is a little off the beam. Otherwise, they would have had Bream. Mathews does have a good pickoff move. Had the throw been on the right side of the base, they'd have had him. See, Clark had to reach to his left and then come back with the tag. 1 ball to Brown. The pitch, and a line drive base hit. Hurdle has a good arm, and the runner stops at second base. You see Ozzie go up in the air and cut that ball off?
Yes, an acrobatic play by Ozzie. He might have thought he had a chance there to make a play at second. I don't know if we have it on the replay.
Hurdle has a very good throwing arm.
Watch Ozzie here. Whoop. He's got it.
It's like he's on a string. Rafael Belliard, little fella at 5'6". I like to talk to him before the game. Makes me feel like a big guy. 2 on, 2 out. A walk and a single in this inning.
You speak Spanish to him?
Yeah. I have more fun with Pena and Ortiz. 2 on, 2 out. 2-1 Cardinals, 4th inning. Outside, and Mathews has been behind an awful lot of hitters. Many hitters.
That'll catch up with you
sooner or later. Pittsburgh has left 2 and have 2 on, 2 out here. Ball 3. Well, the pitcher's up next, so it really wouldn't hurt too much if he lost him, although Russell can swing the bat. He's had 5 hits this year. Don't give in to this guy. Might be swinging. Took a strike. 3-1. Belliard, one of the many players in the big leagues who come from the Dominican Republic. Three and 1. It's 3-2. The runners will go. Well, when are you going to serve him? Could throw him something other than a fastball. Well, looks like he wants a fastball, doesn't it? 3-2. Fastball, ground ball, base hit into center field. This game's tied. The other man to third. He is out at third, and the inning's over. But Belliard ties it with a base hit. In to score was Bream. Out at third was Brown on the throw from McGee, and a quick tag by Pendleton. We'll watch it again. A line drive. The ball was down. He picked it up and drilled it in there to center field. Bream was very smart. He made sure he crossed the plate before the out was made at third, and Brown is still being tended to by the trainer. We played 4 innings, and we are tied 2-2.
Well, there's an Allegheny moon above Three Rivers Stadium.
Patty Page is going to sing for you right now.
Oh, I know the youngsters may not remember it, but the moms and dads will remember Allegheny moon. Later on in the game, of course, we'll give out the Midas Touch Award to the outstanding player of the game. It's a donation to Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital.
Ozzie Smith leads it off. We go into the 5th inning. We're tied 2-2. Ball 1 to Ozzie. He's 0 for 2. Tried to bunt his way on. Then he flied out to deep right. That's Russell. Cardinals have 3 hits. 4 now. Just get over the pitcher's head and bounce down through. Sometimes when the ball's hit here, it's tough to pick it up on this turf. I thought that ball the Belliard hit, it hit the ground. It was a line drive all the way. He had a pretty good pitch from the Cardinal hurler Mathews. Russell watched helplessly as this one went on through. Here's Pendleton. He's 0 for 2. Well, I wish we'd get this guy hitting. Hitting .214. I'd like to see him swing hard at a ball.
Really sparkled in the field of late, as I mentioned earlier on in the telecast.
Boy, he's dynamic up in Chicago.
Yes, he was.
But he's only driven in 13 runs. There goes Ozzie. The pitch swung on and hit foul. Ozzie had a good jump, too. That's strike 1 on the batter, Pendleton. Ozzie running back, looking over the third base coach, Nick Leva. Pendleton looking down there also. Ozzie had a good jump. Pendleton pulled it foul, and it's strike 1. On deck, it's Clark. Cardinals have been out hit 5-4. We're tied 2-2. Cardinals went down in order only once. That was in the 3rd inning. Pitch outside, 1-1. We play Pendleton a little bit toward the left center. Give him the right field corner and a bit of right center. There it is with the right fielder Brown playing off the line out there. Hitting room through the right side if Terry can pull the ball. They pitch out, 2-1. Pirate infielders, Morrison, Belliard, Ray, and Bream looking for the double play ball. Pittsburgh 10 games under 500. The Cardinals 11. And a foul, 2-2. Pendleton, no home runs, 13 runs batted in. See if he can move Ozzie off of first. This guy can make you hit the ball on the ground. Line drive into the right field corner, foul. And it stays 2-2. Against Mike Brown out there in right field. He was shaken up on the slide into third base. Looked for a while like he wasn't going to be able to continue, but he went back out there to right field. 2-2 on Pendleton. New supply of baseballs for the plate umpire, John Kibler. Kibler, a former state trooper in the state of New York. Ozzie's on at first. Nobody out. He's running. Ball outside, and he is safe with a stolen base on the high throw. Pendleton took it, and it's 3-2. Pena says, "What are you going to do?" I tried. He came up firing. The throw was high, and that allowed Ozzie to get in there. Belliard begged for the call, but didn't get it. Now Ozzie's at second, nobody out, and it's imperative that Pendleton make contact. That a good word?
Very good word.
Imperative. 3-2 the count. And he hits it to short. That won't help. Out at first. One gone. Well, you've got to pull the ball. You got to. I know that the pitch was outside, but you got to anticipate that and then be able to handle the pitch if it's inside. So Ozzie's still at second base with one out. That same thing happened in the first inning.
And let's pause for station identification on the St. Louis Cardinals television network.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. This is KLJB-TV Davenport.
The batter, Jack Clark. Clark has walked. He's 0 for 1, ball 1.
Clark, who leads the Cardinals in home runs with 7, homered here last night. Got the Cardinals the lead early, and the Cardinals thought they'd won the game, but John Kibler, the crew chief, overruled on his decision to call the action in the top of the 6th inning. Charlie Feeney, the league president, says they'll pick it up tomorrow night here.
Big swing on a breaking ball, and it's 1-1. They're going to start the action tomorrow night at 6:30. They're not going to open the gates until 6 o'clock.
Well, that's
They'll be running over each other trying to get in here.
That's so they don't have to pay the vendors and the people in the park an extra situation. Struggling here in many areas.
Ozzie stays at second as the ball is squirted away from Pena. Evidently Pena was crossed up. He goes to talk to the pitcher.
Well, they'll pick that game up at 5:30 St. Louis time.
Pena didn't get the pitch that he expected. Well, it really hurt that Pendleton was unable to move the runner over. Ozzie Smith failed to get the runner over in the first, although with better base running, Kurt Ford would have advanced. And we're tied. Ozzie stealing and the throw, and he is safe as the ball went into the dirt. So Ozzie makes it over there on his own.
Took things into his own hands, didn't he?
He sure did. Pena threw while on his knee, and he bounced the ball to Morrison, whose main concern was to stop the ball. That helps Clark's chances of driving home the run. He was down on both knees when he threw. And Morrison wasn't worried about the tag. He was worried about the ball going by him. Clark took a strike, and it's 2-2. And now a strike, and Clark is out. After Ozzie swiped third with 1 out, Clark is called out on strikes. The second strikeout for Russell. Man, oh man.
Clark's always had a tough time against this hurler. Although he's hit very well against the Pirates over the years.
The only thing that could save the inning would be for McGee to get a 2-out hit here.
He leads the Cardinals in RBIs with 25.
Outfield straightaway for Willie. He's 0 for 1 with a walk and a foul, strike 1. Ball ricochets around in the seats. Jack Clark was caught looking with the runner at third. Ozzie stole second, swiped third. Rocha looks at him and pitches. In on the batter, 1-1.
Cardinals with 3 stolen bases tonight now have 90 on the season.
And that's against a good catcher like Pena. They're taking advantage of Russell. And a boy, I thought Willie had one up the middle, but the shortstop's going to get it. Ooh, a throw in the dirt, and Green dug it out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. The Cards have left 6 and missed some good scoring opportunities. Bottom of the 5th, we're tied 2-2.
You'll be at Busch Stadium on June the 27th. That's Budweiser KSDK Can Wrap Night, Friday evening. And we have some other promotions to tell you about. That Cooler Bag Day is June the 29th. Monday, June the 30th. Great opportunity for you to pick up a wonderful AM radio. That's AM radio night at the ballpark. The 19th of July is Baseball Day. Camera Day, always popular promotion. July 20th, a Sunday. Saturday, July 26th is Visor Day.
First up is Rick Russell. He's not bad with the bat. He flied to left his first time. Here's the line score going into the bottom of the 5th. Russell and then Bonds and Reynolds. And a strike as Greg Mathews gets ahead on the count. He's allowed 5 hits, given a walk. He chased that one. He went around, and that's strike 2. Two strikes on Russell. Russell is big and strong, capable of hitting the ball. He strikes out and becomes the second strikeout victim for the Cardinal left-hander. Bonds struck out and then doubled. There's a wasted double in the third inning. This is the son of Bobby Bonds. He looks a little bit like him, not an awful lot like him. He's not quite as big as his dad.
He was hitting .311 at Hawaii when his contract was purchased on April 30th.
He said that was a tough league to play in. Long trips.
Tough travel there, yes.
He missed a breaking ball, 1-1.
Mentioned earlier on, they really have high hopes for this young fellow.
Well, he came along in a hurry a year ago. He was playing college ball and decided not to finish college. Played Class A for about a half a year, and then they sent him to Hawaii, and they brought him up almost immediately. 2-1 the count. 3-1. Mathews having some trouble with the left-handed batters. He walked Bream back in the fourth. A lot of long counts. He's been behind on the count. 3-2. Well, what can you get over, Greg? You walked him. 2 walks, both to left-handed hitters. And Reynolds is up 1 on 1 out. Twice he is grounded out. Reynolds has been hot. He just came in here last night and played the Pirates for the first time. This fella batting .302 at the start of the evening. Down to .299 now. He's a switch hitter, former Dodger player. Bonds has stolen 4 bases. That was close. Bonds talking to the umpire about a balk. You learned all about that in Arizona State. 1 on 1 out.
First base umpire tonight is the veteran Bruce Frumming.
Mathews set Pittsburgh down in order in the first, but they've had men on base in every inning since. And we're tied 2-2 in the fifth. Out of play. This Reynolds gets his cuts up there. He hammers at the ball. Pittsburgh is stranded 3. R.J. Reynolds selling the morning paper. The green sheet's out. One strike to count. In for a strike 2 to Reynolds. This fellow's a very enthusiastic ball player. He's from Sacramento, California. Played for the Dodgers and Pittsburgh last year.
He became a switch hitter in '82, and his first major league hit was a 3-run homer off Ed Whitson back in '83.
Bonds draws another throw.
Mention 19 doubles for this fellow. Leads the National League in that department.
There goes the runner, and it's a strike, and the throw is too late. Reynolds is out on the strikeout. Down he went for the second out and the 5th stolen base of the year for Barry Bonds. You remember his father. The curveball went across the plate. LaValliere didn't have much chance to throw Bonds out. But the runner is down there at second with 2 out for Johnny Ray, one of the leading hitters in the league, 0 for 2 tonight.
He leads the Pirates with 34 runs batted in and 65 hits.
He's been hot ever since the start of the season. Been out of the lineup for a couple of days up until tonight with a pulled hamstring. Switch hitter. Ball 1. He's
batting .330 at home this season. longest hitting streak of the year. He had a 13-gamer.
Change up and a swing and a miss. Ray has struck out a few more times this year than he ordinarily does. Maybe because he's been a lot more aggressive at the plate. Ordinarily, he's quite difficult to strike out. Runner at second, 2 gone. Ball 2.
Ray, as I mentioned, went to school at Arkansas. He came out of Choctaw, Oklahoma. That's his hometown.
He's trying to deliver a 2-out hit for Pittsburgh. Mathews further behind on the count. 3-1. The scoreboard says 2-1. I think it's 3-1. The on-deck hitter is Morrison. Bonds at second, 2 out. A walk put the runner on base. Diving stop. Could get him with a bad leg. He's out. What a play by Pendleton. He continues to take hits and runs away from the opposition. A sparkling play by Pendleton at third base. Ray has that pulled hamstring. He was thrown out, and the Pirates have left 4. We've played 5. We're tied 2-2.
Well, Jack, this fellow's been playing well in the field. We hope he starts hitting a little, but
Boy,
some action here.
He can really get down on the backhand. And then Johnny Ray has that pulled hamstrings, and he's not a very fast runner. That is, not extremely fast to start with. So they got him, and we're still tied in a hurdle. Hits it foul. We're underway in the 6th, tied 2-2.
I want to remind the folks if they're headed into St. Louis sometime soon to visit the world headquarters of Anheuser-Busch Brewery.
Anheuser.
Isn't that the way Mike Rorty says it?
Yeah.
It's a great spot, though. The complimentary tours begin. Well, I may be in marketing, then I may check. But the corporate tour center is a great facility, and the tours are available Monday through Saturday at the brewery, 9 a.m. to 4. You can see how the brews are put together down there.
That ball's fair. Bream will give it to the pitcher. They tell me, and of course we haven't seen much of the Pirates, that Bream has come to be quite a first baseman here for Pittsburgh. Very, very good, they tell me. There's 1 out.
Did a nice job with the glove there.
The batter is LaValliere. He double home a run in the 4th inning, which gave the Cardinals a lead, but only for a brief while. And little Belliard tied it up with a base hit in the 4th. LaValliere reached on an error and then doubled.
That hit for Belliard means he has an 8-game streak going, longest of his career.
He seems to have pushed Khalifa off the shortstop spot. Russell ahead on the count to Mike LaValliere. 1-1. They call LaValliere Smokey.
Smokey thrilled him in this town for a long time, didn't he? Smokey Burgess.
Ball 2. Kid seems to be developing quite a pitching eye. Russell will come in with that sinker ball. He drove him inside. 3-1. Rick Russell is fan 2, walked 3, allowed 4 hits. Cardinals have left 6. That ball into left center. And the ball gets away, and LaValliere continues to run and stops at second base with 1 out. There'll be a hit and an error. It's a single and an error on the left fielder. Well, he has erred twice tonight, both on balls hit by LaValliere. He stroked it in left center for a base hit. Then Rolos came over, played a little nonchalant, and hit off the heel of his glove. Now, most anybody else would have gone to third base, but
he was thinking about it.
That's all. His legs weren't thinking about it.
No, he had
It's going to take a double by Oquendo to get him home.
he had visions of going to third there for a minute.
Fantasies.
Yes, fantasies. You're probably right.
Oquendo is singled and driven in a run with a fly ball. He could put the Cards back on top. Up high, ball one to Jose. They have a base open and the pitcher next. So let's see how they pitch to the Cardinals' second baseman. Hits are even now at 5 apiece. Strike call. Well, you're doing well, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
There he is, perched at second with one out. Gotta get a little bigger lead than that, Mike. And a foul ball puts Oquendo in the hole. Well, they're coming after Oquendo as they did in the fourth. They had a chance to walk him then, but they didn't. And he delivered a sacrifice fly. And a chopper to third. The runner stays at second. The batter is out. 2 gone. Well, now the odds diminish as the pitcher comes up. That ball was up, but Oquendo didn't do much with it. And it's up to Mathews now, and he's 0 for 9 with the bat in the big leagues. This will be a good time for his debut. Ball one.
He does have an RBI.
On a squeeze play.
Right.
What do you think if he just doesn't swing?
Well,
of course, you're always dangerous with the bat in your hands. While you're at second, so don't swing. Hit ball 2. 2 out.
you may have hit on something here,
Yes,
Jack.
sir. New approach to this game.
I doubt it, but
We've
you may
got
have.
enough guys who are not swinging.
That's right.
Don't swing, Greg. Okay, now you can swing. 2-1. A single and an error has Lavalier down at second. He's pretty far off the plate, isn't he? Chopped it foul. 2-2. Well, he's not up here for his hitting.
And he is a very fine young pitching prospect.
Trying for his third of the year here tonight. And it looks like it's going to be the third strikeout for Russell. Get the commercial ready, folks. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. The Cardinals have now left 7. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and we're tied 2-2.
Well, tonight, following the Eyewitness News update, Johnny Carson comes center stage, and Johnny's guest tonight, Carl Reiner. There's one of the clever people in the comedy business. Writer Roy Blount Jr., very talented gentleman, and comics Max and Ross Messick, all tonight. Mr. Carson, right here on Channel 5.
Bottom of the 6th, Morrison, Bream, and Pena. This combination with Belliard driving in a run produced a run in the 4th, and that tied the game. They put up on the board that the gates open here tomorrow night at 6 for the 6:30 action. And they'll resume in the 6th inning with the Cardinals leading 4-1. Whitey Herzog hadn't determined who the pitcher will be in that one. A lot depends on who he has to use here tonight.
It'll be Tudor and Bilecki.
Mike Bilecki.
In the scheduled game.
You know, last night they said this game is off, and I was on the air. I said, I can't believe it. So I didn't go along with it until we double-checked it, because I just couldn't believe that the game was called off that rapidly. And then what made the umpire look bad was that after the game was called off, it stopped raining, and it never rained again for the rest of the night. Had it continued to pour down, it might have made a difference, but I doubt it, because they just didn't go by the rules. And the umpire who's working behind the plate tonight is John Kibler, crew chief, and he said that he messed up. thought he made the right decision, and he was wrong. Ball 1 to Morrison. Change up, 1-1.
Well, they took the tarp on and off, what, about 3 times,
Well,
Jack?
4 times.
4 times, was it? And I know a lot of water was on the field. There was also
Would have taken a long time to get ready to resume.
there was also a tornado warning out, I guess, but
It didn't have anything to do with it, evidently, Jay.
No,
They said, well,
that's
you got to
right.
go by the rules and wait
right.
the allotted time period. Another changeup, 1-2. Morrison, a home run threat. He is singled, scored, grounded out. Pittsburgh's left 4. The Cardinals have stranded 7. Despite some good base running by Ozzie Smith in the 5th inning, the Cardinals are still tied here. Ooh, that just missed inside. 2-2. Jim Morrison, former White Sox player. He's down on the end of the bat. He's out. Good tailing fastball, and Morrison goes down on strikes. That's number 4 for the Cardinal hurler, who pitches to Bream. He walked in the 4th and scored a run. As you saw the strikeout pitch. Bream popped out, then got a walk. Scored on a base hit by Brown and a base hit by Belliard. Mathews wants to get ahead, and he gets the breaking ball over.
last year, Jack, of course, was a different year than this year. The Cardinals were 15-3 against the Bucks.
Won all 9 played in St. Louis and took 6 out of 9 here. They'll still have a chance to do that. The Pirates open the next Cardinal homestand next Monday at home. They're a pretty interesting club with a lot of young players. Here's a bouncer to Okendo. Jose waited for Clark to cover and throws him out. There's Jose playing second base tonight. Tommy Herr will be back with the club tomorrow night for the heavy action. You'll see he had to wait for Clark to get back there. Took his time with Bream running. Batting now is Tony Pena. He's singled. Helped Pittsburgh scored a run in the second, then he flied to right on the first pitch the last time up. He's a first ball hitter. He'll go up there turning that bat loose like that, and he grounds one to penalty. Down they go in order for the first time since the first inning. We've played 6. We're still tied. It's the Cardinals 2 and Pittsburgh 2.
First 25,000 fans 18 and over with a paid admission to Sunday, July 29th game will appreciate the good looks and the high quality of this very useful item. The cooler bag, Sunday the 29th. Redbirds and the Phillies in a 1:15 game.
I'm going to take my cooler bag out to the Whitey Herzog Celebrity Golf Classic at the Rain Tree Country Club on the 26th. We have a day off, and Whitey
Murphy's put it together for him, boy.
He has a bunch of celebrities. If you want information on it, I'll give you a telephone number here. But Jeff Lottie, Tito Landon, Bob Force, Rich Hacker, Tommy Herr, Mike LaValliere, Mike Heath, Greg Barger, Jack Clark, Rick Carton, Red Schoendienst, Tom Lawless, Mike Rourke, Tim Conroy, Todd Worrell, Ken Daly, Nick Leva. They'll all be out at the Rain Tree Country Club, and the number, if you'd like to join us, 937-1562. Are you going to play, Jay?
I'm going to try. Originally,
Right,
it didn't look like I could play.
You ought to
but,
bring Sue out.
well, I was talking to Mike Murphy over at Sunset yesterday. We had the U.S. Seniors Open qualify.
You qualified for the seniors?
I didn't. I'm qualified to play, but I didn't qualify. But Charlie Morgan of the home club had the privilege of playing with him,
Oh, yeah?
and he fired a 72. Congratulations to him.
I'd like to see a 72 fired here right out of the ballpark.
Right.
Maybe the Cardinal leadoff man here, Kurt Ford, can get it done.
Ken and Mary Johnson are here from Smithton, Illinois. That's right outside of Belleville, rooting for the Cardinals to fly out of the cellar. Hope they can.
Kurt Ford takes that strike, a good fastball, 2-1. Ford doubled in the first, flied to center in the second, grounded to the second baseman in the fourth, and leads it off here in this 2-2 game in the seventh. Jay will bring you up to date on the other baseball as we go along here, and Kurt Ford is 2 for 4. Leadoff single. Now we'll see if Ozzie is going to play it straight, sacrifice, go for the hit and run. Just what?
This afternoon, it was Philadelphia beating Chicago at Wrigley 11-8. And pitching coach Billy Connors was ejected from that game for Chicago.
He's one of the few bench jockeys left in the game. It's a dying art, but old Billy is keeping up the tradition. He pays a dear price for it. He's ejected at least 2 or 3 times a season.
Cincinnati leads Houston 5-2. They're in the 7th. Montreal leading the Mets 3-2 in the 5th.
As he uses the sacrifice, it is perfect. Russell's only play is to Breen. Down to second goes the potential winning run, Kurt Ford. Good sacrifice by Ozzie. Good look at it, and he really deadens the ball. The only play for Russell is to cut Ozzie down at first.
Dodgers are leading Atlanta 2-1. They're in the 6th inning.
Pendleton is 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded out each time to the pitcher and twice to the shortstop. He has 13 RBIs, no home runs this season. He could get a big base hit here. Just wide, 2-0. Russell's been a little wild as far as I'm concerned tonight, Jay. He's usually ahead of the batters. He's been behind most of the time tonight.
Both these hurlers have found that a problem this evening.
Too low, and it's 3-0.
Pendleton missed a golden opportunity to pick up Ozzie in the 5th. See if he can do it here. Kansas City beat Oakland 2-1 this afternoon. Boston 7-2 over the Yankees. They're in the 5th inning.
And the Pirates get their bullpen busy. Guante and the former Dodger left-hander up throwing down there. The walk goes to Pendleton. There you see the Pirates bullpen. The Cardinals have 2 on, 1 out.
Detroit beat Baltimore, or is beating Baltimore, excuse me. They're in the 6th. And it's 4-0 Detroit. 5-2. Seattle leads Cleveland in the 7th. Toronto and Milwaukee scoreless in the 3rd. Minnesota leads Chicago 3-0 in the 3rd.
4 walks now issued by Russell. Usually you would say, great, you've got Clark up there with 2 on in a game-winning situation. Jack really has to bear down against Russell. He has a terrible time hitting against this pitcher. Jay brought that up earlier in the telecast, and Russell painted the corner for the first strike. It's funny how you find one guy that gives you a problem.
He's had his number more often than not. Love to see Jack break through here.
Good speed on the bases. Ford at second. He's stealing, swing, and a foul, and boy, Clark really had a hammering rip at that, right in his eyes. Ooh, let's take another look. You talk about a power swing. Watch this.
Right in his wheelhouse, wasn't it?
Just missed it. Jack, very aware that usually when you get your pitch and you miss it, most of the time it's lights out. Ford had a good break as he was running off of second. Cardinals have stolen quite a few bases tonight. 3. Hey, that is a peck of trouble if it stays fair, but it's going to go foul. Ooh, just foul. We'll have to do it again. Clark returns to the plate. Ford to second. Pendleton to first. Three Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. These two clubs mired near the cellar in the Eastern Division race. Mets are making a shambles out of the East. The Expos are leading, though, tonight. Little hope. Another 0-2 pitch. Just missed inside. They are very deep for Clark in the outfield. They give him right center.
335 down the lines, 375 to the alleys, 400 to center field.
They could put the Shenandoah Valley in right center there. That's your famous valley down there, isn't it, Jennings?
It's one of them. One of them. The Shenandoah, the Greenbrier, the Kanawha.
Nothing but valleys in West Virginia with those mountains, man. Just outside with a slider, 2-2. 2 on, 1 out. On deck, Willie McGee is Clark. Walks back in. You see that little idiosyncrasy that he has, tapping the bat on the plate twice. Let's see what Tony has in mind for Clark. 2-2 is the count. 7th inning the action. Three Rivers Stadium the place. And here's the 2-2. Little roller foul, thank goodness. Rich Hacker, the young man from New Athens, Illinois.
Catcher's interference.
Oh, thank you very much. So the Cardinals now have the bases loaded. Let's see if we have a replay of that. Pena is a guy that really gets up close to the plate. And as Jack tried to hold up on his swing, it touches his mitt. Watch, he'll try to hold up. And he catches the glove. You see Pena try to pull it back real quick.
John Kibler came out and made an emphatic call. So they're loaded up.
Infield is halfway. They're in at the corners, and halfway at short and second. McGee is tough to double. Too low, ball 1. Willie wants at least the sacrifice fly. A very good speedy runner. Ford at third. Pendleton at second. Clark at first. 1 down. 2-2 tie. That'll get it done, and maybe a little more. Can Reynolds catch it? Yes. At the wall. Ford tags. Cardinals lead 3-2. Really hit that ball a long way.
Catch up to that ball.
A long way. He gets Ford home. So that catcher's interference, a big play in this game. Willie went right with that delivery. Look at this play by Reynolds. On the run, backhands it. Halfway to the wall on the warning track.
RBI number 26 on the year for Willie, and the Cardinals have the lead here.
Hurdle is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Lined out in the 2nd, tapped out in the 6th. The runners are at 1st and 2nd as they both had to return and tag with that long fly off the bat of McGee. Fastball is a strike on the corner. Like pulling teeth scoring runs, isn't it?
It sure has been some kind of tough this time around.
Mr. Hacker has good hands over there, doesn't he? Say, he's a very talented young baseball man coming up through the Cardinal system. Cardinals have 2 fellows that they've brought up very quickly at an early age, Nick Leva and Rich Hacker. Just missed. 2-2. Deuces wide. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 the count. Cardinals leading 3-2. Redbirds have out hit the Buccos 6-5. Add another. This is a home run, folks. The Redbirds get a 3-run homer by Clint Hurdle. His first homer of the year, a 3-run shot, and it's now 6-2. You just can't throw those batters low and inside, can you? You talk about a golfing swing for the home run. Hurdle will illustrate it for you on the replay. The glad hand for the Cardinal right fielder. And a big 3 RBI swing. Going in and boom, boom.
With that swing, he doubled his RBI total of the year. It jumped from 3 to 6 with this shot.
Who is that cameraman that followed the flight of that baseball? Bring him down here. We'll give him a nice cold, frosty Budweiser. That was a great shot. We'll save that.
It was our friend Bill. It was right through the window out there, Aunt Minnie. I'll tell you that.
And a way to go, Bill. We'll get you on the golf. You can follow him that. Well,
it's an outstanding crew that we work with here. They make our producer director Ron Brooks look very, very good.
McWilliams is still throwing in the bullpen with Guante, but Russell's going to try to finish the 7th. Michael LaValliere has to look at strike 3 called, and that takes care of Smokey. He had two base hits earlier. The strikeout is the 4th. The Cards score 4 runs on just 2 base hits. Nobody left. 7th inning stretch time here as this crowd of 9,424 paid is on their feet. Pirates bat with Brown, Belliard, and Russell. Redbirds lead 6-2.
With Mike Shannon and Jack Buck, Jay Randolph with you from Three Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh, as the Cardinals have boomed out on top. 6-2, the big blast, the 3-run home run by Clint Hurdle, who started tonight in right field. Andy Van Slyke will tell you again, returning to St. Louis to check things out with team physician Dr. Stan London, a strain or possible tear in the ligament of his left thumb.
Here for the Pirates, Brown, Belliard, and the pitcher will bat. They'll pinch hit for Russell. As young Greg Mathews is headed for his 3rd victory. This kid's going to be a good pitcher. He already is a good pitcher. He should get better. He misses outside, and it's 2-0. Tonight, he's struck out 4. He's walked 2. And he's given Pittsburgh 2 runs on 5 hits. In at the knees, 1-1. Brown has a sacrifice fly, an RBI, and he's singled 1 for 1 tonight. The board has him 1 for 2. They don't count the sacrifice fly as a time at bat.
Well, they got a new regime here in Pittsburgh, you know.
Oh my God!
Oh, there's somebody up from the Mountain State.
I didn't know they let y'all out down there.
Oh,
after
yeah.
the sun went down.
Well, he snuck in this
Oh, I
afternoon.
see. Play for Smokey. Takes care of Brown. 1 away. So they do let the folks out of West Virginia when the sun goes down.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy.
Let's take a look at the agility and the quickness of Smokey from behind the dish. Discards that mask. Tells the pitcher that he'll handle it.
Kind of like the
Jumped
way
over the bat.
Kind of like the way he's responded to playing more.
And a perfect throw to Clark. That's a perfect throw. Letter high. That's where you want to throw the baseball if you're going to fire it to someone. Right at the letters. This is Belliard, the shortstop. And the strike evens the count at 1-1.
The pinch hitter is going to be the youngster who plays shortstop here, Khalifa.
Sammy Khalifa. Funny story that
I want you to tell that story when he comes. Well, start it now. That's where you get it done.
Charlie Feeney is a writer here for the Pittsburgh papers.
Been here since time immemorial.
All right, here's a ground ball to the Wizard, and that takes care of Belliard. His name is Charles Feeney. So is the president of the National League, Charles Feeney. So the other day when the Pirates and the Mets had the fight, Khalifa was involved. So was Rick Rhoden, a couple of others. And when you're in a fight like that, there's Charlie, the one in the yellow sweater there, the one in the middle. Fast at his typewriter.
One of the great ink-stained wretches of the business. Wonderful man.
Heck of a writer. But anyway,
yes, he is.
Jim Leland, the Pirate manager, showed young Sammy Khalifa the wire that he got from the president of the league, Charlie Feeney. And it stated that this youngster was fined $200 for his participation in that Donnybrook. And he looked at it. He said, $200? And then he looked at Charlie Feeney's name. He said, I'm not going to pay any writer $200 for a fight. He thought it was the writer, Charlie Feeney. He's out easy, and it's 3 up, 3 down, and that is now 8 in a row retired by Greg Mathews. After 7, Cards lead 6-2.
Larry McWilliams, the man from Wichita, Kansas, is the new hurler. Russell went 7 innings, gave up 6 runs on 7 hits. He struck out 4 and walked 4. McWilliams, they call him Mac, appearing in his 14th game. 1-4 the record, 5.55 earned run.
And watch fast, folks, because he pitches as quick as anyone.
Oquendo singled, got an RBI on a sacrifice fly, and grounded out tonight.
The secret weapon has struck again.
You love it, don't you?
Man, I'm going to tell you, he's not going to be a secret weapon very long. He's 2 for 3 tonight with a sacrifice fly and an RBI.
And he's got to be batting up about 393, 394.
He's higher than that, Jay.
Is he?
He's up at 400, I'll bet.
Well, let's see. He goes 2 for 3. Yeah, he probably is a little closer to the 400 mark. Mathews.
He's going to try to bunt again.
Yeah. He's going to till he gets it right, Mike.
He's going to try again. I was kidding the youngster, and boy, he's a nice young man. About going to spring training next year. I said, what time are you going to go down there? He said, oh, about February. I said, why don't you go down right after New Year's and work on your bunting for about 6 weeks?
Mathews is 0 for 3. He struck out twice. Cardinals lead at 6-2.
Hey, hallelujah, he's done it.
He's done it now.
There's the star of the game right there. Your Midas touch man.
I think we might have to give it to Hurdle if you don't mind, but the sacrifice.
It was tougher for him to sacrifice than it was for Hurdle to hit the home run, I'll tell you that. Boy, he's perfect on his form here. Stands up there. Watch the ball hit the bat now. See it? Pulls it back. He has it released, so he's been working on it. And the only play for the first baseman is to Johnny Ray covering. The sacrifice is successful. He gets the glad end when he gets into the dugout.
Here's Ford. He's doubled, fly to center, grounded out, singled and scored in the 7th. 2 for 4. Strike on the outside corner from Larry McWilliams. Inside. Backed him off. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Threw him that curveball outside on the first pitch. And then he was thinking outside. Got one inside.
Swing and a miss.
I tell you, they've been pitching like that for 100 years, haven't they? Up and in and low and away. It's been pretty successful.
Cardinals 20 and 23 on turf this year. 12 and 20 at night. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Curt Ford. Slap foul. Russell came into the game with a record of 4 and 5. He's given up 7 runs on 6 hits, and Hurdle's 3-run home run did the damage. Curveball, a high hook. Take a look at this. Strikeout number 1 for McWilliams. Ozzie Smith rounded out, trying to bunt in the 1st. Ford didn't move along. He had doubled. He flied to right, singled, stole 2 bases in the 5th, and sacrificed successfully in the 7th. Ozzie batting with 2 gone. We're in the 8th. The Cardinals lead it 6-2. High for a ball. The Reminder that we'll be coming your way on Friday and Saturday nights from Philadelphia, and Sunday afternoon Bob Forsch against Charlie Hudson Friday night. Saturday night, Danny Cox scheduled to go against Steve Carlton. 2 balls and no strikes to Ozzie. And Greg Mathews will go on Sunday for the Cardinals. The Phillies have not announced who will pitch for them. This is high, 3-0. Paying crowd of 9,424 here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh tonight. 11,484 in the house. And a walk to the Wizard. First pass given up by McWilliams. 2 on and 2 out for Terry Pendleton. He has grounded out 3 times. In the 7th, he walked and scored in front of Hurdle. Terry's average down to 213. The curveball is in there. Fouled away, and McWilliams is out in front, 0-2. Pendleton from the Los Angeles area hit 240 last season for the Cardinals. Good stop by Pena. Pirates 16-25 playing on artificial turf, and 15-25 at night. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Pendleton. And a strikeout. That's the second for McWilliams. Cardinals strand a couple. Redbirds, after 7.5, have the lead 6-2. Well, listen up, Cardinal fans. The first ever AM radio night will be coming soon to Busch Stadium. It's Monday night, June 30th. The first 30,000 fans aged 21 and over with a paid admission receive the free AM radio with speaker and earphone, and it is a dandy. You see a picture of it right there, and I was given one this afternoon, and it's great quality. It's perfect for use while enjoying the games at Busch Stadium or anywhere. Arrive early. The Cardinals battle the Mets 7:35 and take home the free AM radio. Into the 8th inning we go for the Bucks, and Barry Bonds, who has struck out, doubled, and walked, stands in. Bonds also stole a base in the 5th. Check swing. Mathews in time. Nipped him. Well, let's pause now for station identification with the Redbirds up 6-2. This is the Cardinals Television Network.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. This is KLJB-TV Davenport.
R.J. Reynolds has grounded out twice and struck out. He bats with 1 gone here in the 8th.
This could be the first complete game for this youngster in the big leagues. He fell 1/3 of an inning short in his first start down in Houston.
We televised that game, and 1 ball and 1 strike to Reynolds. Mathews looking for number 3 in the victory column.
Always important to see if a guy can go the distance. It appears that this fella can do that physically, Jay.
It's sure important right now with the bullpen in shambles.
Right. After the physical aspect of it, then you have to look for the mental end of it. There are some people in this game that have that kind of instinct, that they just want to succeed.
Pendleton cutting across, makes a good play.
No one has better range to his left than I've seen in Terry Pendleton. He can really go a long way to his left. Watch how far he goes from his third base position to get to this ball. He's right in front of Ozzie. And he makes it look easy.
Johnny Ray has flied to left, popped out and grounded out.
That's 10 in a row retired by Greg Mathews now. Some call that instinct the killer instinct. The competitiveness, the desire to accomplish something.
2 balls and no strikes. 2 gone. 8th inning. Fly ball into short right field, and Oquendo in foul ground makes a fine play. I was about to say that looks like it might go between the 3 of them, and Oquendo closed under it to make the play in foul ground. After 8, St. Louis 6-2 over Pittsburgh. Back here at Three Rivers Stadium, Jack Clark has walked, grounded out, struck out, reached on catcher's interference and scored. Philadelphia won this afternoon. Montreal's leading the Mets. And this one down the line in left is a home run. The second in 2 nights for Jack Clark.
He continues his assault on Pirate pitching, excluding Russell.
Yeah, I was going to say, Russell's not out there.
Now, Jay, that's 29 home runs in his career, 74 RBIs, and he's hitting well over the 300 mark. He has thrived on Pirate pitching.
8th home run of the year, 20th RBI for Clark to make it a 7-2 game.
Watch him go down after this one out, and see you later, Jose.
It is to the right of the pole for the home run. McGee tonight 0 for 2, a sacrifice fly for him in the 7th for an RBI. He's 26th of the year. Swing and a miss, makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. 7-9-0 now for St. Louis. 2-5-2 for the Pirates, or 2-5-3 I should say. Willie goes down. Take a look again at the scoreboard. Our good friends at McDonald's bring it your way.
Those biscuits will be coming over again tomorrow for you, big boy.
Los Angeles and Atlanta 2-2 in the 7th. That San Francisco-San Diego game gets underway a bit later on. And of course, Don Sutton's going to try again for number 300 tonight in the California action.
There haven't been very many of them reach that plateau.
No, sir. Tito Landrum will pinch hit for Hurdle. Hurdle was 1 for 3, had the 3-run home run in the 7th. Fouled away. Landrum hit a couple over the boards in batting practice here tonight to the left side.
Do they count those?
No, they didn't count them.
I see.
Like to see him get one, though. Landrum is batting 178. This will play for Belliard. The young shortstop throws him out. There, 2 gone. LaVallier's had a nice evening. Reached on an error in the 2nd. Got a ground rule double and an RBI in the 4th. Singled in the 6th. Struck out in the 7th. So he is 2 for 4 this evening. The batting average is up to 270 for Smokey. One strike the count. Inside, 1-1. Pirates scored 1 in the 2nd. Cardinals took the lead 2-1 in the 4th. Pirates tied it in the 4th. And it was 2-2 until the 7th, when the Cardinals got 4 runs. The big blast, the 3-run homer from Hurdle. LaValliere flies out to Reynolds in left. The home run for Clark is 8th of the season. The Cardinals picking up another run, and the Redbirds lead at 7-2. It'll be Morrison, Bream, and Pena in the 9th for the Bucks. You fans of Hunter, have no fear. Channel 5 will be airing tonight's episode in its entirety this Sunday night at 11:30. And that will be followed by World Cup soccer as we head toward the championship game of the World Cup. Of course, that's all right here on Channel 5. Tito Landrum now playing in right field. Jim Morrison leads off the night. Morrison 1 for 3. Morrison singled and scored in the second. Got the first run of the ball game. 1 strike to him. Mathews trying to get his 3rd victory of the year and the complete game. Cardinals leading at 7-2. Bill Allman out on deck. He will bat for Sid Bream. 2 balls and 1 strike. That misses outside. 3-1. The Cardinals have a hurler up and throwing. And a walk. Well, you hate to see that. Even though the Redbirds have a 5-run lead, Todd Worrell, the mainstay of the bullpen when it comes to short relief. The walk is the 3rd charge to Mathews. Bill Allman, born in Providence, Rhode Island, hit .270 with Pittsburgh last year. 6'3", 191 pounds. The infielder. There you see what he's done pinch hitting this year. Pretty handy guy to have around. And he takes low. Allman broke in with San Diego back in '76. There's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Allman's been with San Diego, with Montreal, with the Mets, the White Sox, with Oakland. Now finds himself here in Pittsburgh. Journeyman, good stop by LaValliere. 2 balls and 1 strike. LaValliere out there trying to settle down Mathews and get him through this 9th inning. Redbirds will pick up the game from last night with the Bucks winning the protest. And then they will play the regularly scheduled game here tomorrow night. Then the Cardinals will fly into Philadelphia. We'll televise Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. Another fine play by Pendleton. 1 and 2. Oh, a dandy double play as Pendleton made it happen. Terry has continued his superb play as it went 5-4-3 for the DP. That for the Cardinals, their 72nd double play of the season. And the Bucks are down to Tony Pena, 1 for 3, singled in the second. The Pirate catcher. Ozzie comes up, throws. Redbirds take the victory. 7-2. The Cardinals win it. A complete game for the youngster Mathews. And he's got to be mighty proud as he wins his 3rd of the season. The Redbirds gain the victory here at Three Rivers. Back with more in a moment. Back here in Pittsburgh, the Midas Touch Award is brought to you by your local Midas Muffler and Brake Shops. And the man who receives the award tonight is Clint Hurdle. Hurdle coming through with the big blast in the 7th, a 3-run home run, and the award will be a donation to Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital in the name of Clint Hurdle. The line score on tonight's game, 7 runs on 9 hits and no errors, 9 left for the Cardinals. Mathews the winner. He's 3-1. The game-winning RBI went to McGee. It was his 2nd of the year. And the Bucks, 2 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors, and 4 left. Russell took the loss. He's 4-6. Some final thoughts right after this. Well, a pleasant night in Pittsburgh. Cardinals win it 7-2 over the Pirates here tonight. Last night, the Cardinals thought they had won a range-shortened victory. It turned out that after a protest by the Pirates, they hadn't. That game to be resumed tomorrow evening prior to the regularly scheduled action. And then the Cardinals will head into Philadelphia. And, of course, again, I'll remind you, we'll be televising on Friday night, 6:30 St. Louis time. We'll also televise at 6 o'clock for you on Saturday night and again on Sunday afternoon. 3 games from the vet. A big night for Greg Mathews. Fine job by the youngster from California as he picked up his 3rd win. And Clint Hurdle, starting tonight in right field, got the 3-run home run. So the Cardinals gain the victory here over the Pirates and continue their mastery. Last year, the Cardinals won 15 of the 18 games played against Pittsburgh. For Jack Buck and for Mike Shannon, hope you enjoyed the telecast from Three Rivers as the Cardinals won it. The final again, 7-2. Jay Randolph saying so long from Pittsburgh and reminding you that St. Louis Cardinals baseball is a presentation of KSDK Sports.